Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Abel Sanchez says Gennady Golovkin will never be unified undisputed champion. Stay tuned. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family reworking. Now, shout out to Fight Hub TV. They have an interview with Abel Sanchez, link in the description. And Abel Sanchez says that Golovkin will not be undisputed, right? He says, and I quote, "The priority is to keep Gennady busy. We know now that he's never going to be unified champion. Billy Joe Saunders is never going to fight him because Saunders is looking for lottery money. He's waiting for the opportunity, and Saunders doesn't want to fight him. He asked for $7 million to fight Daniel Jacobs. Imagine what he would want to fight Golovkin. Anthony Joshua money. So we're kind of certain we're not going to get that belt. The belts are not as important as what's in Gennady's best interest." Let me repeat that. The belts are not as important as what's in Gennady's best interest. He's not bummed out. What he would have been bummed out about is not being able to fight the 5th today. Wow. So, man, listen. I'm like speechless at this point. Like, this is like a complete 180. What Team Triple G, what they came in the gate saying versus what they're saying now is completely and utterly different. This is not the same team, or this is not the same mentality of the team, however you want to cut it. You know what I mean? So Abel Sanchez is saying that Triple G would be angry if he didn't fight on the 5th, and he fought Vanes Martirosyan, a good fighter, but again, a guy with everything stacked against him. 2-year plus layoff, coming off a loss, moving up in weight, and then now he's saying that Triple G will never be undisputed. That sounds like a patsy to me. Like, I'm just gonna call it what it is. That sounds like a setup so you can pick and choose the fights you want for the remainder of Triple G's career. Because now he's saying that the belts aren't of the utmost importance. It's really what's in the best interest of Golovkin. That's not what they said. See, Team Triple G, they have to, I think they should get a PR person, or if they have one, then they need to get somebody additionally to look at it, because they came in the gate stating a few things. No one from 54 to 68 or something could go 12 rounds with Triple G. The lie detector test determined that was a lie, because Canelo moved up in weight, had one fight, which was a bogus fight with Chavez Jr. and went 12. And Daniel Jacobs, a guy who's been knocked out before, went 12. So that wasn't true. They also said they would fight in those other divisions. However, they campaigned and stayed at 160. They didn't fight anyone at 54. In fact, they got guys from 54 like Vanes Martirosyan, Gabe Rosado, Ishida, and even lower than that in Kell Brook after they criticized Canelo Alvarez for being a he's a businessman, he's a clown. Like, he's a businessman and clown. And then you fought a welterweight. You were mad Canelo's fighting Amir Khan, which was announced first, and then you fight a welterweight the same year. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy that the fans try to pretend like they don't see this. You know what I mean? I'm just calling the spade a spade. This is what it is. This is what they said. They said no one 54, 68 could fuck with him. And then when it came to fighting in 68, they said they would go up there for Carl Froch out of respect for him and, you know what I mean, champion, blah, blah, blah. They said they would fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., but they weren't trying to fight Andre Ward, or they were trying to fight him at a catchweight, right? It doesn't look like they're interested in fighting Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, who's repeatedly called him out, even as recent as May 5th, when the Canelo fight fell out. Top Rank Bob Arum on his verified Twitter says, "We'll accept the fight, we'll fight you." And they end up fighting Vanes Martirosyan with everything stacked against him, including a jump up in weight. And you've seen what happened. This is the first time Golovkin's got a knockout that vicious since that early since, I don't know, Macklin or something. You know what I mean? So tailor-made. Everything was against Vanes, right? Last minute, off the couch, Don't know what type of shape he was really in. Didn't have a full camp to really prepare. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to go over this. And then now Abel Sanchez is talking about Golovkin is not going to be undisputed because of Billy Joe Saunders. Now, I don't even understand the logic. I understand what he's talking about in terms of, I think Billy Joe Saunders did say he wanted $7 million to fight Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs lost to Golovkin. That's my dude, but he lost to Golovkin. I thought he won the fight, but judges didn't see it my way, right? So he lost to him. So he no longer has his belt, his WBA belt. He's in line for a mandatory spot with Golovkin, etc. And all that. He's championship worthy, elite worthy, but he doesn't have a belt. So although I wanted to see Daniel Jacobs get the Billy Joe Saunders fight, I don't think Billy Joe Saunders wants that risk necessarily to fight a guy with no belt. But just because he was asking for that money for Jacobs, that's not to say that he wouldn't fight Golovkin or he would demand even more money, because Golovkin actually has a big name. He has a win over Jacobs and he has all the belts. So that's different. You know what I mean? And stylistically, maybe Billy Joe Saunders, after Golovkin's last few fights, you know what I mean, before Vanas, maybe he feels that's a better opportunity. Maybe he feels Golovkin's not in his prime or what he once was. Daniel Jacobs been looking pretty good lately. You know what I mean? He has different stylistic attributes. Taller than Golovkin, power, athletic, can box and move, better defense than Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? So maybe everything considered, Billy Joe Saunders doesn't want that, or he doesn't want that fight for cheap. But that has nothing to do with Billy Joe Saunders and Golovkin. In fact, it's the contrary. Billy Joe Saunders has actually stated, I got me pinned and I'm ready to fight Golovkin. And he's calling him Borat and Triple G string and all types of stuff. You know what I mean? All types of names. So I don't know where Abel Sanchez is getting this, that Billy Joe Saunders is never going to fight him. You know what I mean? And the thing is, this is boxing. It's not like Billy Joe Saunders plays the flute. He's in the same division. He's in the same sport. He's with Frank Warren, who has no problem negotiating with Tom Loeffler, because before Golden Boy punked Team Triple G, they were actually in negotiations to make the fight. They had actually had talks. But Golden Boy and Oscar said, hey, after Canelo fights Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., we want to promote this Triple G Canelo fight immediately after. So if you fight Billy Joe Saunders, then you're not getting a Canelo fight. So they stayed on the sidelines. So there's no promotional barriers or anything that would prevent that. So what's the deal? You know what I mean? And it seems in recent memory like the true intent of Team Triple G has been coming out more and more and more. They begged for the Cottos and Sergio Martinez and Canelo at a point in time to fight them, right? They begged. They say, oh, hey, no, it's about legacy, and these other guys are businessmen, I'm a true fighter, and all this stuff. And then now as it comes out, you're in it for the same reasons as everybody. You want to take fights you want to take, you know what I mean? You want to take what's in your best interest. You want to maximize your dollar. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what they said, though. They came out the game in saying, like, oh, it's not about money, it's about legacy. And now you have Abel Sanchez said, we're certain he's not going to get that belt. The belts are not as important as what's in Gennady's best interest. How is fighting Billy Joe Saunders not in Golovkin's best interest? See, they said they were chasing Bernard Hopkins' middleweight run, and they wanted to be undisputed. I literally have the video. Don't make me go Ego Valley and put this together. I literally have a video where I'm in front of Golovkin, and he says it's about middleweight history. It's all the belts. Like, he says this on tape, and I have the video. I'm about to pull it up just for y'all. And now his trainer is saying something different. He's saying the belts don't matter. So to me, it sounds like a patsy. It sounds like the middleweight division is finally stacking up, and there's suitable threats and suitors, and now all of a sudden the opinions are changing. Billy Joe Saunders looked good versus David Lemieux. Derevyanchenko's on that ass. Jamal Charlo's on that ass. Canelo wants that work when he's not suspended. Daniel Jacobs already gave you a tough fight, so you know what he's about. Demetrius Boo Boo Andre. And now all of a sudden it's not about the belts. What? This is crazy. Now all of a sudden it's not about belts. So when you have all these mandatories, see, that sounds like somebody who's propositioning some other things to, like, maybe get stripped or maybe to lose belts, because if you don't fight Derevyanchenko, it sounds like the IBF might strip you. So that's what this comment from Abel That's what it sounds like more than anything to me. He's now planting the seed that the belts are not as important as what's in Gennady's best interest. So now when you don't face mandatories, or if you don't face the guys in line to keep your belts, and you already like succumb to the idea that you're not going to be undisputed, and you throw that out there that belts don't matter and he's never going to be undisputed, then who cares if you fight Charlo? You know what I mean? Who cares if you fight your mandatory? Because you've already said, hey, there's no way he'll become undisputed. So if they strip you because you don't fight Charlo, because you don't fight against Derevyanchenko, then you've already planted the seed. But listen, new media, Ego's Army, there's no back door out of this. We know what was said, we know who said what, and we know when they said it. So let me know what you guys think. I don't fancy these comments from Abel Sanchez. It makes no sense, and it completely goes against what Team Triple G said they were out there for. And then to say, like, just weird stuff. I'm just hearing weird stuff like post-fight. I was at the fight. Post-fight, Triple G says he would love to fight Canelo in a rematch, even in September. But he did an interview with Yahoo Sports, and he said there's a 10% chance that the Canelo fight happens. And people were asking him about Canelo in the build-up for Vanes, and he was getting mad, even though people didn't really care for the Vanes Martirosyan fight like that. And he said, hey, no, guys, seriously. Like, he was mad that they're asking about Canelo, and then said a 10% chance. Now he's saying he wants to rematch him. Listen, it's just all over the place for me, for my taste. We want to be undisputed. It's about legacy. We're chasing Bernard Hopkins' resume. And then now it's like, hey, the belts are not as important as what's in Gennady's best interest. So what's in Gennady's best interest should be what's in the fans' best interest, because I was at the StubHub, and Golovkin had a ring walk where the StubHub is like a 360 type of view, and he walked around the whole bowl to give the fans what they want and make sure everyone got a good viewing angle of him before he got in the ring. So you're all about the fans. Fight Charlo. Fight Derevyanchenko, fight Billy Joe Saunders. And again, if you really think Billy Joe Saunders or Charlo or Daniel Jacobs, any of your mandatories, or any of these top guys, Demetrius, Boo Boo, Andre, really and truly don't want to fight you, Canelo in a rematch really don't want to fight you, you guys are all in the same division, in the same sport, so it's not hard. Send a contract. Make a phone call. Say, hey, we heard Boo Boo Andre talking all this. He's saying he want that work. We need a good fight. We just fought a 154-pounder late notice. We want to fight him. We want to fight Derevyanchenko. We want to fight Charlo. He's talking greasy, all this lions only. Okay, well, we the lion hunters. You know what I mean? But instead, you're hearing Abel Sanchez, the trainer, say, we now know, and I quote, we now know that he's never going to be unified champion. The belts are not as important. I mean, this is insane. You know what I mean? This is like kind of like Eddie Hearn with the Joshua Wilder situation. It's like, what do you believe at this point when you've heard the same people state different things? So again, this is a different era. I'm telling you, it's a different era of boxing coverage. You know what I mean? The pressure is higher than ever. You have people like myself who are fair but firm and vocal about what I see. I can reference and give you guys like a bibliography of where the information is coming from, who said what, when they said it. You know what I mean? So you just have to be mindful of that going forward in the future when you start saying a multitude of different things in a short period of time. But I don't particularly like this talk from Team Triple G saying that they're never going to be undisputed. That sounds like a cop-out, because there's a lot of heat in the kitchen now. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.